Okay, so we're going to begin our third and final session of the evening, technology tools. And at this time, I will go ahead and turn it over to our presenter, Mayra Bermudez.
Good afternoon. We are so happy to have you here. If you were with us during the first session, I tried to answer some of the questions that were remaining in the question and answer chat. Hopefully I was able to reach out to those who were saying that some of the QR codes were not working for them. I just created really quick, tiny CCs, and I posted them for you. So brace yourselves, because this presentation on student iPads, Chromebooks, and Hotspots, of course, with this setting and the reality that some of you may not have your devices yet, we will try to make this work, but the purpose of this session is to give you the resources to find all the information regarding these devices. I do have one Chromebook, and I don't know if this, lends itself for me to show you how this works, but I will show you the main features of it and accessibility features, which are very important as well. I have an iPad, and I will show you how you will receive it, and we will talk about that. And I have one hotspot, and you will be surprised to know that there are 4 models being rolled out to students. So we're going to talk about that. Hopefully those QR codes will work for you. If we need to pause and wait, Dr. Johnson, if the QR codes do not work, because this presentation is going to rely heavily on you being able to access those resources, so you can find all that good stuff for you to get acquainted with your devices. Okay, so the next screen, please. Okay, so basically I gave you the agenda. We will start with the iPads because they are for the younger students. We will talk about briefly what are the LMS options that are available for them. And for those of you who were with us earlier, we will clarify the Seesaw. The Seesaw platform, the paid platform that the district acquired, is a mandatory LMS for those who will be using the iPads, but there are free versions. Same with Google Classroom. Some teachers decide that they are going to use Google Classroom. Some administrators decide at the campus level that they want to go with Google Classroom, maybe by department. So there is some leeway when it comes to the learning platforms. And then we'll end up with the hotspots. So the hotspots are, unfortunately, I was only able to get my hands on one of the 4 models, but I will give you at least an idea of how you will receive them in their box and what they will look like. This is one hotspot, so we will talk about that, and hopefully I will be able to answer some of your questions. Nestor, I'm really I know there are going to be so many questions that are really IT related, but hopefully we can get some answers, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, so let's begin with the first QR code. The first QR code, when can I do? Okay, I'm not going to read the questions unless Nestor, you want to interrupt, please feel free to do so. So let's start here with the first one. And the first QR code should take you to iPad resources. These are resources that Early Learning prepared for summer school that are still relevant. I kind of reviewed them and consulted with Early Learning. There is also a quick reference for our young students. It's the one with the little penguin and some little graphics here and there. I created those and had a lot of fun making those for the summer school. They are still relevant, and basically they take the student through the steps to sort of set up their iPad, and it briefly explains how to make sure the Wi-Fi is connected and how they can actually use the self-service, okay? So that is that first QR code. Okay, so the next one. This one is Dallas ISD's iPad website. In other words, it's everything iPad that we have for you. It will take you to different YouTube videos. So it's really a curation of all the resources we were able to find that would be useful for teachers and for parents. Okay, this is information regarding the physical features of the devices, basically the models, you know, the models that we have. So this iPad that you will receive, so I think I read a question earlier today that your first iPads were smaller. Well, this is the, I think it's generation 7. That's the name of the model. It's a much larger iPad. Can you guys see what I'm trying to show? I hope you can see some. So if you see, this comes with a cover, okay? And that cover serves also as a keyboard. So this is a very
can't really
nice.
see it. If you can put it right in front of you, we can, and go down some, we can see it a little bit better.
Is that good?
We see the keyboard. Okay, yes.
Okay, so basically I'm gonna kind of just give you a little.
Oh, we can see it now. When you put it right in front of your face, we can see it.
Oh,
I think
okay,
it's a virtual background. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you
it
for
blends with the
reminding me.
virtual background.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we are going to receive. This is a very nice device. So this QR code, again, you want to bookmark that. This has everything that you may want to know about the physical features of it. It does not include accessibility features. That I tried to give you another code for that, because these are features. Every device actually has a page devoted for accessibility features. So we will take a look at that in another slide. Next slide, please. Any questions about accessing the website? Just want to make sure I'm not moving those slides too quickly, because again, this is what this presentation for you is, your connection to all these resources. So here for the iPad, the iPad has accessibility features for vision, for hearing, for mobility, and there's also another category that most of these devices are also including, and it's for learning, for certain learning needs, okay? So the way you enable accessibility features on the iPad, you would go to the settings in the home screen, and there will be a symbol. It's shown there in blue. It's like a blue button with a little man and a circle. That is where we have the accessibility features where we turn on and off different options. This QR code will take you to iPad's official page on accessibility, okay? The way accessibility will work in terms of your students' different learning styles or different learning needs is something that will be discussed, arranged with your teachers and administrators. I'm sure that they're going to look for ways to make sure that every learning need is met, and some of these physical features, the accessibility features that are in the physical devices may be employed, and also know that there are also features pertaining to accessibility that are part of the OS, you know, the actual operating system. And then also, you know, we have to see how that is going to blend in with other resources. So this is a little complex, but definitely it provides a lot of options so that we can make sure that that your students are served properly. So for example, for vision, we have different displays. We have vision accommodations in the system that provides, for example, darkening or brightening the screens or letters, or enlarging fonts, or also the system can read what what is on the screen. For students who are vision impaired, they can actually get read all the information on the screen. We have hearing accessibility features. The iPad has a setting that it actually connects to hearing aids. It also kind of tunes out the noise, the extra noise. You can type to Siri, so you can actually not only give Siri commands, but ask her to type different things within different applications. And of course, with mobility, we have dictation. We have also you can reconfigure or reset your key features. So for example, your keyboard, you can choose different keys or different actions that will result in certain things that you want your device to do. So those are great features, and there are so many more. I'm only including vision, hearing, and mobility, but again, there's a whole array of other suggestions and things that are provided on that webpage regarding learning. Next slide. Okay, so this was prepared by Early Learning. They put together all these QR codes. I thought it was very thorough. It's very good. This QR code will take you to that document, which you can actually download. This document has hyperlinks itself, and it also has QR codes that they prepared for you. And it'll take you through the different steps to set up your iPad. It will take you through that video and those quick references that I prepared for the summer school that are still relevant. They're both in Spanish and English. And there is also some information on how to work with Seesaw, I believe, Google Classroom, and Clever. Okay, so there were some questions about Clever. There's still this misunderstanding about Clever and how it is different from Power School and Google Classroom. I see Clever as a gate. It's a gate. It's a door. It's a portal. It's an entry to everything else. So when a student actually opens the computer, opens the iPad, and clicks on the Clever icon or types in their credentials into Clever, what that does is it just opens all the other options. So it displays all the icons for the different resources that the district has for students, so that then they do not have to, if they want to go into Seesaw, they don't have to go to the Seesaw website or the Seesaw app and then log in there. And then maybe later in the day, they have to do something in Google Classroom. They don't have to go to that other website, find their Google Classroom. That's totally unnecessary if they log in through Clever. So that is what Clever does. It's a convenient way of having all your resources in one place. When we scan the QR code, will it show a video? If you're talking about this one should be the document itself, the document that I posted here. When you click on the different links on the document, within the document, I think there is one with a video. It's a 3-minute video, a cute little video for the students to learn how to set up their iPad and to make sure that the Wi-Fi is on and things of that sort. Okay.
It's a digital document with very important information and very basic information too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Mayra, just are we connected to the internet? Or how do I get into Clever? Things of that sort. So it's a very good document to have handy. And I'm sure Dr. Johnson will also have it in the near future available in the website.
Correct. Thank you, Nestor. Okay, with student Chromebooks, again, we have a Dallas ISD Chromebook website. Everything about its physical features, everything about the model and the brand that we have. So we have the Lenovo brand, and it is displaying everything about, even about the keys, the combinations. You know that you don't have cap lock. in your keyboard. So you actually can learn the different combinations and actions on the pad so that you are able to make the best use of your Chromebook. The question about the camera, it's right here. And the Chromebooks also have a lot of features that could help with customizing the learning experience for students. Next, please. Okay. I have here the accessibility features for Chromebooks. Again, this is taking you to official web pages devoted solely to these features, very thoroughly explained and also categorized by vision, hearing, motor or mobility, and learning, and the learning needs of everyone. So we have here a QR code that will actually take you to it's like a simulation. So what it really does is it takes you to a really cool setup where you are actually, without the Chromebook, you are like pretending, like simulating that you are actually going through different commands. You're following that yellow circle that you see on the illustration on the left. And then what it's telling you to do is, for example, do you want to enable the screen magnifier? Well, you're going to click here, and so it takes you through the different screens as if you had a Chromebook right in front of you. Okay, so you can run the simulation from any device or from a computer. So you can start getting prepared before you even receive your Chromebook. So that I think is a very useful feature. Again, we have the hearing, closed captioning. There is a function in the Chromebook that allows for everything to be read. So everything on the screen is also read, and in different languages. We have translators as well. We have key combinations and different ways that you can also set your keyboard so that if you want a specific action to happen, something to happen with your Chromebook, access an app, or probably start a Google Doc, you can actually program certain keys so that you can get those actions done without going through a whole process. Okay, so that's very useful. Next slide, please. Okay, and here we have the same, again, giving credit to Early Learning. They worked so hard with this, and I thought it was very good. It's the equivalent of what you saw for the iPad for your Chromebook. So you will have here the same video for students that you see for the iPad in Spanish and English. You will see one that I made for the Chromebook. So it is available within those links. If you scan that QR code, you are going to land on this document. So this is a PDF document. You will be able to download it if you wish to do so, or simply click on the links provided in that document so that you can get to the different resources. And it also includes information about Google Classroom and Clever as well. So you will always see Clever before anything else, because Clever is the door you open for everything else. And oops, I think I had a link in there. And then it also has information on Zoom. Okay, so okay, so next slide, please, Dr. Johnson. So here now we're going to talk about the student hotspots. So if you already have your student hotspot and you know which one is the one you will be using, that's great. Now I have been told that when I learned that there were 4 models and 2 providers, 2 companies, AT&T and Sprint, I asked, my first question was, do we know who's getting what? And the answer was, no, this is really not set that way. We are, you can have students in your video conference class, or students, working with any of the LMSs and actually connecting to the internet with totally different, hotspots assigned or given to you by the district. So this specific one is called the Express 2, and I will show you a little bit about it. If you scan this QR code, again, this is a newly created Dallas ISD website on student hotspots. It covers all the information, contains links to user guides of all 4 of the models. It gives you the features, and it connects you also to the official web pages of these devices. Okay, next slide. And please, if we have to stop because you are unable to scan those, let me know. So then this specific one, this specific QR code is going to provide you with a copy of the only set of instructions that we have available right now, and I'm sure they'll make more, but we have only this sheet right now that basically tells you what you need to do to set up your Wi-Fi with your hotspot. If you look at this document, you'll notice that it is only showing one model, okay? It is not showing all 4. But the purpose of this document is really to make sure that you find where is your indicator about connectivity and where you will match that with how you are going to set your hotspots. There was a question earlier today, and I didn't want to forget to address that, about your concerns about protecting your child's safety. Well, these are going to be rolled out with the parental guidance mode. So it's going to be activated so that that parental protection feature that these devices have is actually configured. It's actually set into these devices already. Okay, there's 2 ways we can look at this type of concern. There is a concern for the privacy of the student and abiding by laws and regulations and policies that are out there that we have to respect. But then there's also the other side of it, which is that behavior, the management, the making sure that things are not written or in a chat that should not be posted. Those are 2 different things, okay? So one is more about management and putting in place some etiquette rules, like Dr. Johnson and everyone involved in this event has done, that we established some rules from the beginning. And then there are some controls put in place, but then also there is integrated features into these equipments and LMSs and operating systems that will play an important part in keeping your child safe in terms of privacy concerns and things of that nature. Next. They're asking about all students receiving a hotspot. I'm going too fast. So this is, again, one QR code where it will take you to the Dallas ISD Tech Support webpage. It is a page for everyone. So actually it has a button for parents, it has a button for students, it has a button for teachers. So this is where you will submit a ticket if you need tech assistance at any time. So let me show you this one. Let me first say that these, I was very surprised to see that one of the 4 models is an actual cell phone. So how that will work, I do not know exactly, because I was provided only with one of the models and it was not that one. So let me go really quick to the website. Can you go back one slide, Dr. Johnson, if you wouldn't mind? One more. Okay, yeah, that works. So you have here the 4 models. The one I have is, this is the box, okay? It's called the Unite Express 2. You will receive 2 boxes. This additional one with a case and everything, that's the actual charger. Okay, and I'll let you see that first. Okay, so you will have your hotspot here. Okay, and all of these devices allow for multiple connections, okay? So my understanding, Mr. Restrepo, is that it is one hotspot per family, per household. If you have more than one dial-size these students at home, you would receive one. But I need to confirm that with Mr. Restrepo.
That is my understanding too.
Okay, and then here's your, thank you. And this is your case for the charger of this particular hotspot. And it has, it has everything here, the battery, everything is in here.
Mayra, you need to keep it really in front of you and lower because it blends with the background and really disappears what you have.
Well, let me tell me where I need to be.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, people might be able to see it that way.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions? I mean, I know it's only 30 minutes into the session, but I know I will have more questions than the information I have been able to give, given the circumstances that, we are working with devices in addition to, what we're trying to handle here with this setting. So I will be more than happy to try to answer any questions. Can you please move on to the next slide? I think where I left off. Okay, so again, this is just additional resources that are put together for you. Again, it's kind of ties in with everything else that we have covered today. You have, now you see the big picture, you see your devices, you see your video conferencing options on the right, and you see your learning platforms on the left. There are some options for the video conferencing aside, where I included some presentations that I developed for students, just thinking that maybe teachers would want something to present to their students. Well, it is very generic, but it is pretty much explaining how to join a session if the teacher has issued an invitation or has asked for the students to meet for a live session. Then there is a presentation in English and Spanish for you to share with your students, for you to use for yourself. And you please do not be surprised if maybe your teacher decides to use that very same presentation. I facilitated that to everyone I could reach out to during this week of training. So it's hopefully it helps. This is also, there is also a link, just like the one I provided for the earlier session, where it will take you to that website. I created tiny CCs for those codes that didn't work in the earlier session. There were only 2, I believe. So because it was being cut off, Dr. Johnson, somewhere, one of my QR codes wasn't able to get scanned, but I got those tiny CCs made while Nestor was in his session so that you guys can make sure that you have that resource. Next, please. Oh, okay. So anything I can help with?
Well, thank you, Mayra. You were doing a great job of also answering the questions. Some of the top questions that I had, you were answering them. But maybe there were a few that we can answer. The first one is, how do families know if they need a hotspot?
Nestor, I believe everyone is getting a hotspot, isn't it?
I think they need to request it. I don't think it's by default. A hotspot is a device that will allow your computer or tablet to connect to internet. Right. So if you already connect to internet in your computer at home, you already have internet access. So you probably don't need a hotspot. But if you have a computer at home and you are not able to connect to internet, you need a hotspot. You need a device that will enable your device to get online. I just got verification that the hotspots that the district is providing will be, and I'm saying this because several questions that I saw in the chat, the capacity, the maximum capacity, the data that will come from is 10 gigabytes per month.
That was one of the questions, yes.
Yes. What happens after my student runs out of those 10 gigabytes? Well, it will continue to have access to internet, but it's not going to be high speed. So it will be able to submit assignments, it will be able to send documents and those things, but like downstreaming video and those type of things will be very difficult. So 10 gigabytes capacity per month.
So the other models are the Nighthawk, which is a square-ish looking model. That phone is called the CoolPad Legacy. That's with Sprint, as is the CoolPad Surf, which looks like a beeper for those of you who are kind of my generation. So it's a smaller device, doesn't have that that LCD that we saw in this model that I presented. So they're about the requesting the hotspot. You do have to request it, but what I was trying to say was that you do not have to go through a certain process to determine whether you qualify or not for the hotspot. Everyone can request a hotspot. I'm sure the district has made sure that they have what we need to have at least everyone, ensure that everyone has a connection and that everyone is able to gain some access to school.
One of the questions I had, Mayra, is that if they have internet services at their home, do they have to use the Dallas ISD hotspot?
I do not think so. I mean, if you are comfortable with your service, if your service is robust, and you see no need for a hotspot, absolutely, yeah, you are more than welcome to use what you know, what you trust.
So the devices will connect to their home internet services.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Right. It's the same process when you connect any of your game devices with your students. You can get them with your school devices connected as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we've answered a lot of the questions. Are there any additional questions that you see on there? I believe you went through them all.
Okay. If it says here, if Miss Claudia said, if the parents can't pick up the devices, can somebody else pick them up for me? Nestor, that's a very good question.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Mayra?
The question is, Miss Claudia wants to know if she is unable to show up to pick up a device, can she send someone else to do that?
Oh, wow. That's a very specific question about the logistics of distribution. I don't want to provide the wrong information. I will double check and verify with your campus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I do want to I'm going to show parents one thing, because I know we've been inundating you with a lot of information tonight. And so I don't want you to worry that if you were unable to write something down or to snap a quick shot of the QR code, or even use your phone to access the QR codes, I don't want you to worry and think that this information is going to disappear. It will not. It will be available for you, and I will take you through. When we were pausing, we had some slides that would show you where you could access all of our sessions from the conferences. They are recorded, and they will be accessible to anyone from our VPC, our Virtual Parent Conference webpage, and I'm going to share that information with you. And also on that webpage, you'll be able to access any of the handouts or the websites, or even the Google Slides that we've used this evening will also be on there. And we're going to have those translated and available for us in English and in Spanish. So no worries if some of this information, I promise you, it will not disappear. Additionally, I'm going to show you again, we have some of the questions were geared towards device pickup, and I know some of that is in flux about where that's going to be done, what time, and So we'll provide you with that information on where you will be able to find out that information, because we know things are changing. And I do encourage everyone that the Dallas ISD main website is going to be your best friend to stay updated on a lot of the things that we have changing and coming up. And we know right now that it's, crazy. Information is everywhere, and there's a lot of information about a lot of different topics. So don't fret, parents, if you don't get something or you didn't hear one of the presentations even from yesterday, because I know some people were already were asking some questions regarding the information sessions that we had yesterday. So I'll be sure to make sure that I take you to where you can write down that our virtual parent conference webpage, because that is where you'll be able to find all of the handouts, all of the links, all of the resources, and the on-demand session recordings. It will be located in that central spot.
And one more thing, if there are some special cases in which, let's say a student needs a device, a Chromebook or even a hotspot, and like Chromebooks were already distributed on that campus, the best way to go will be to reach out to your campus, and they will work with IT to get what you need. So there are some cases, especially middle and high school, the rollout for one-to-one device has been already passed, right? But if we have new students arriving to the district, they will not part of that rollout. So reach out to your campus, and they will work with you to see how you can get the device that you need.
Okay, I want to share this with parents. This is how you can access the virtual parent conference webpage. You can scan that code, and it does explain to you if you've been having any issues with using the QR codes. And parents do know that you don't have to use the QR code to be able to access these. Access that web page. You can simply type it in down here. We have the web page for you. It's www.dallasisd.org/smart-restart-parent. Also, if there were questions that you had that you want to ask to specific departments, I do want to share the Let's Talk information with you. That is a new Dallas ISD feature that you can go there and it's on the main website. And I thought the QR code was going to be on there. However, it is just dallasisd.org. Let's Talk, and you'll be able to ask additional questions if something wasn't answered there.